So I'm going to do a really quick video here on how I sharpen my skive knife. So this is a skive knife from George Barnsley from Etsy, and I really like it so far. I've been able to get it really sharp and keeps a pretty good edge. So I'm not exactly sure what condition my edge is right now. I guess I can, it's pretty kind of dull, to be honest. It's workable, but what I do is I know a lot of people just use sandpaper for their skive knives, but I've started using strops, and I really like how they can kind of maintain an edge like throughout the skiving process of your project. So this is wet dry sandpaper, 2500 grit, 1500 grit, and I'll go through like the really quick process that I use to sharpen this here. So just a little bit of water. So I do like clipping this here. So I'm left-handed, so mine might look a little weird to you, but I just, find the correct angle. Often I just go up and down. Some people do, circular motion, but up and down just, works good for me. So, and I will do the Sharpie trick where you take a Sharpie and draw, along the edge to make sure, you're getting a consistent. I'm gonna do some circles too. Get a consistent angle. So if you use this technique, you will get a much keener edge than what you would be able to get from just using 1500 grit sandpaper. So I've found that using this skive knife, which I got from Etsy, it's made of O1 tool steel. If I do this process well right at the beginning of my project, I will just have to maintain my blade, maintain my blade with my strops. So a really deep sharpen, you could say, lasts me, one project. So it looks pretty good. It is shaving sharp at this point, which is good. So now I'll switch it over to 2500 grit. A little bit of water here. I'm trying to go fast so this video doesn't end up being 10 minutes long. So, yep. So one thing that you'll encounter there is a benefit to just using sandpaper for sharpening these knives, because sharpening these knives with sandpaper and a granite slab will be much closer to a flat grind than with a strop. So what a strop does is, since leather is a flexible material, when you put pressure on the knife, you will actually, on a microscopic level, create more of a convex grind with a strop, because when you press down on the leather kind of warps around the blade, which is why maintaining a knife while you're working on your project with a strop after you use your sandpaper works. It's because that leather bends around your blade and actually contacts the tip. So that is feeling very sharp. It's feeling pretty good. So I'll move on to my white. So all strop compounds are different, but most of the ones that I've seen, the white is the most coarse, then the green is the middle, and the reddish brown is the most fine. So I will kind of have a gauge on where my knife is throughout my project, and I will sometimes go all the way back to my white compound, while sometimes just going back to my green compound and then working my way up to the red. So I do this on a granite slab too, and for this I only, with the strop you only pull. That's an important bit of difference between a strop and sandpaper, and just the difference between, you could probably just use a white compound, to be honest, to do this. These, like the white compound, the coarse is very, very fine. So, yeah. And I'm just kind of gripping it under here, and I have a feel for where the angle is just from muscle memory. So that feels pretty good. Do a little bit more. You don't need a lot of this compound either. If you use too much, it'll gunk up your leather and you won't get a good result. And this is just I've actually been practicing my stamping on these, but this is just some goat skin some scraps. So let's do the flat as well a couple times. So you do really need to put some pressure with stropping. I've found it goes quicker that way. All right, that should be good. Go into the green. Now I'm just pressing this perfectly flat against my strop here. So. Now, and if you find that your strop is not sharpening, most likely it's because you need to either replace your strop or clean your strop, because what'll happen is, like this one for example, this one is kind of past its life, it needs to be cleaned. When it gets brown, really like dark gray, black like that, it's because of the fine particulates from the sharpening process are gunking up the sharpening surface, so you need to clean it. I think like acetone cleans that pretty well, but I have so much scrap leather sitting around that I will usually just make a new one here, which is what I've done with these. So, all right, a few more passes here. Let's see what we got. I mean, that feels pretty great, if I do say so myself. Let's see. That is pretty sharp. Pretty happy with that. Now, if it's not quite to your liking, you can go back to the green and work back up to the brown. Up to you. So on a normal Bible cover, I will be able to, if I do it the deep sharpening like that, I'll be able to do the skive all the way across the top without having to resharpen, at least with this with this knife. So the O1 tool steel that these I think it's called Barnsley skive knives are made with is pretty good. Their heat treatment's pretty good on these. So yeah, that's how I do it.